which is a radio for refugees, a voice, a platform for refugees to have their voice heard, the real stories that are different to the stories you hear on BBC or NDR or this mainstream media. And the journey so far since November that we started has been really interesting. We've been on Al Jazeera, we've been able to reach about 40 million people worldwide, and that projected us to another level. And now we are taking the journey, the radio journey, to different communities of refugees newly arrived, so that we can empower them with tools. The radio is a tool that can help enhance the understanding of the flüchtling and the refugee situation in Europe. So that's why refugee radio is here.
Who are the refugees right now in Europe? Are they especially from North Africa or other sides of Africa, or can they from Middle East? Can you just explain to us the refugees, so your listeners?
Yeah. Well, first of all, refugees, the word refugee was not created because of black people from sub-Saharan Africa or because of Arab people. It was created from the wars of the Second World War, and that was where the United Nations decided to create the refugee law. Refugees are coming from different places all over the world. There are people moving from sub-Saharan Africa because of war, persecution, and the insecurity in Libya has given them the opportunity to cross the Sahara, the Mediterranean, to get to Europe. There are also Syrian refugees coming from war in the Middle East, Syria, Iraq, which is being destabilized now by ISIS. So refugees are coming from all over the world towards a direction, which is Europe. And they are doing that because they feel Europe is, one, secured, which it is. Second of all, we all believe Europe is an El Dorado whereby we can make life better and so on and so forth. But there's nothing wrong with dreaming. And unfortunately, the refugees get here and the story is the other side. So we have to learn step by step how to get the documents, how to get into the system, and how to learn a new language, a new culture. It's difficult, but that's why we use refugee radio to try to teach the new refugee brothers and sisters coming in that it's not so fast as it is in our country. Europe is quite different, and this is the steps to follow. So that's what the journey is for us as a refugee. I'm a refugee myself. I came from the Libyan war in 2011, and I've been in Europe for 4 years now, and it's quite not easy, but we will not give up. We continue moving positively so that we can impact a change in the society that we live in.
But as you say, you came from different countries and you have different cultures as refugees. How can you communicate together? Because it's not so easy. I think you are from a country, but you will meet someone from another. How can you communicate with this?
Of course, it's difficult. Of course, it's a cocktail of different people, colors, food, culture, tradition. But we get along. Of course, there is conflict amongst us, but we try to get along because we are all in the same boat, the same refugee boat. So it's that we come together and to be one, united, and fight for our rights, social rights, civil rights, inclusion in society. Or we divide and go each way and we don't achieve anything as it has been done for many years. But we are seeing a change now in Europe, whereby refugee groups, refugee advocates, refugee activists and supporters are coming together and fighting for a cause, and the European government is listening now. Unfortunately, people have to die before they can listen. But we all are in the same boat, so we all must come along. I speak Arabic, so I'm able to reach the Arabic brothers. I have colleagues who speak French, who speak Bambara and other languages, so we carry that all along. So we get the message out.
So you said that more or less the situation is perhaps a little bit opener, better for the refugees, but how do you think Europe as continent, but Europe also as European Union, handle the situation now? Is it really better, or could it be better, and what could be better for the refugees?
First of all, they've made a mess of it, the European leaders, first of all, by allowing people to die in the Mediterranean. Papa Francis, the Pope, His Eminence, went there to Lampedusa and spoke, and he also went to the European Parliament and told them that Europe should wake up to its responsibility. Of course, the politicians didn't listen, and the tragedy became more worse. Now the people have risen up, the civil society have stood up. We cannot accept this in the continent, in our European society. So the politicians are afraid now, and they're now listening to what's going on, and they're now much more accepting now. Germany is a little bit accepting now. Of course, they disagree on the quota sharing system, but they are coming up and say, okay, we will take this 50,000, we will distribute them. How they will do that, of course, it takes time, but they are listening now. Before they were just like ears blocked, but now they are listening. So I think step by step, it could get better. The refugees also has to learn the European way so that he can get into the system easily. So it's a two-way issue. It's not just one way, because the European system has always been one way. Oh, they will come, they will learn the language in 3 months, they get a job, and so on. That's not true. So the reality is what we want to project, and the reality is the leaders should work with the refugees, with the citizens, so that they can fashion a way out where everybody will be balanced and secure. The review started in November last year, and we decided to just run it for 1 year to see our response. And we are proud to say we will move into Refugee Radio TV from November, an online TV platform with distribution with local TV stations in Hamburg and elsewhere. So ours is to reach as much people as we can. So we are trying to sign partnership agreements with many radio stations in other European countries, in Africa as well. And the response has been positive. Many radio stations want to have one of our programs, we call it the Refugee Voices Show, on their radio station. So I think that's where we're going and doing better. And we also create workshops for our community to teach them, to sanitize them about the real situation, how they can handle it, and how they can be strong emotionally to deal with it. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you very much.